Hello, Soul Family, and welcome back to the Follow Your Path channel to support you in realigning with who you really are, to support you in carving out this unique pathway in this life, free from all of the conditioning that you received as a child from society and maybe your parents and the people around you. This is a channel that all of the transmissions that I bring through, all of the guidance that I offer, is to support you in establishing your unique path that comes from your unique blueprint inside of you that has never been expressed in this physical plane before, and to make the most of it, to unfold the highest potential of that so that you can live a life of joy, freedom, creativity, and just having fun. Okay. So today's message is going to be a powerful one if you're listening on the podcast. Super happy to have you here. If you're watching this on YouTube, amazing. We're bringing the fire in this one. My intention with this video, with this episode, is for it to land in you in a very deep place so that you can feel the words that I'm saying at a much deeper level than just the surface, than just the mind that wants to take in and consume information just as a quick little dopamine fix. No, I'm not interested in that. If you're here, stay with me, take this in and apply it to your life, because this journey goes by fast and there's so much going on right now. There's so many distractions. There's so many things that can take us off of our path that it requires a high level of focus to utilize information like this and make these shifts and the changes in your life that you're looking for. So here we go. With that being said, may this land deep in your heart. Today, I am here to talk to you about choices. Choices, opportunity cost, and reality tunnels are the theme for this conversations, because right now, your choices are shaping your future. Your choices are flowing your cosmic attention and energy to the timelines that you're going to experience. This is very powerful to realize. And I get it. You've maybe heard this before, but held it as a concept as I did for so long. I want to put a spotlight on the power of your choices right now. And I'll give you a few examples so that you can know what I'm talking about. My wonderful friends, this is a very potent time to bring yourself into alignment and to prioritize your state of being. We have to let go of the small self understanding. We have to let go of the conditioning that we took in and molded our whole worldview around, molded our whole self concept around. Let this land. You are a quantum, multidimensional being. It is time for us to use spiritual wisdom in the most cutting edge science we have, which is quantum mechanics, to recognize the nature of reality, and that going on right now in unseen dimensions all around you are reality tunnels, are timelines that are playing out based on the choices that you make. A small example could be this. You get home at night from a long work day, you're exhausted, and you do the usual, make dinner, veg out on the TV, and go back to bed. You wake up for work, do it again. That's a trap that a lot of people find themselves in, and I did for a long time as well. Think about the timeline that you put yourself on by following that pattern. There will never be a new experience. You are aligning with the self that you've always had. At some point, a break in the pattern has to occur for you to align with a higher reality, an expanded reality of like, I'm not tolerating this anymore. This is not what I choose. This is a program that I do not desire to walk in any longer. So imagine this, right? You get home from work, you break the pattern, which is not going to be pleasant at first, and you say, okay, I'm ready to make this shift in my reality. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to clear the energy of the day. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to slow my mind down and I'm going to get into a creative mode here because I'm ready to go somewhere else. You slow those brain waves down. You eat a meal that doesn't make you full, but you eat just enough so you feel nourished. And then you take 30 minutes and you just write down and play with, okay, what is the reality that I desire? Ooh, my relationships are healthy. I'm around people that energize me, people that inspire me, people that add to my vision, people that feel good to be around, not anyone that's depleting my energy or anyone that I'm feeling obligated to spend my time with and share my valuable earth time with from a place of people pleasing or feeling like it's a chore. Okay, I'm taking exciting trips to different parts of the world. I'm living abundantly. Money's flowing in from multiple sources freely and effortlessly. I've changed my relationship to money, and now it's just pouring in, and it's not even that big of a deal. It's normalized because in that timeline, when I'm abundant and prosperous, it's normal. Maybe you have certain goals that you would like to see realized in your life, and they're already done, and you're writing those things down. For example, with the YouTube channel that I'm building, it's like, okay, I have a YouTube channel that is reaching millions, not playing small here, millions of people. And my message that I'm bringing through is for all of us. It's not just about me and growing my channel. This is a channel for the divine to flow through so that my beautiful brothers and sisters can all get on this path, on their unique path, so that their light can affect their communities, their families, and all of us together are going to change the reflection of the outer world to serve our expansion, to serve who we really are. So all of these issues that we've been seeing that are just cycles repeating will be eradicated, and we will see peace on earth. We will see a planet of happy humans who are enjoying their life, who have freed themselves from the prison programming, and they are in alignment with who they are. God, source, universe energy is flowing through because let's just anchor this in for a second. I've said this before at some other point. That which created you, my friends, knows what brings you joy, knows what brings you the highest level of fulfillment better than your ego could ever even come close to. Your ego might have a sense of what's made it happy from prior experiences, but that which created you, that which you are a child of, a creation of, knows you better than anyone or anything. And if you surrender to that, now you've opened up to such a greater field of possibility where things that you've never known that will light you up and excite you in ways that you couldn't possibly have fathomed from the ego side of things get to flow into your experience because you've aligned to that. Don't overlook this. This is massive. This is why I talk about in a lot of my videos transcending the ego identity and aligning with source, remembering who you are and staying in that frequency, doing what you need to do to keep yourself in that vibration. Now, of course, you're going to dip, but ultimately, you're engaging in a level of self mastery where you can get yourself back in alignment by going into nature, by doing breath work, by meditating, by eating nutritious foods, by loving yourself and encouraging yourself, by expressing who you are. Lots of different ways to do that. So when you can surrender to this, now there's miracles, now there's surprises, now there's delights, now there's holy shit moments that were never available because you were so limited in your egoic things that you think would make you happy. So going back to the beginning of this conversation, your choices, right? That evening you broke the pattern and you gave yourself 30 minutes to be in that creative energy. And then maybe you went for a walk. And what I like to do is I like to play songs that inspire feelings inside of me where I'm already at where I've always wanted to be. I'm feeling prosperous. I'm feeling powerful. I'm feeling the enjoyment of life as me in my own skin. I'm comfortable. And I'm in this place of like, what's next? What else is there? Like excitement, curiosity. And I'm not waiting for it sometime down the line. I'm engaging with it right now, which is true creation, right? So you do that, you go for that walk. Maybe you read a book that you enjoy, a book that makes you feel a certain way, a book that enlightens you, a book that has information that expands you. And maybe just before you go to bed, you take 2 minutes of doing some breathing. You give thanks for the day. You give thanks for what's coming. You give thanks for what you have. And you fall asleep in that curiosity and excitement, in that place of like, I can't wait to see what tomorrow brings. Thank you for today. Tomorrow is going to be so epic. I want you to really tap into this. Can you imagine the timeline that you just jumped into and aligned with, like you're a surfer that just hit an epic wave instead of just waiting in the water for the right one to come along? Compared to the reality tunnels that you build every night in the same way previously, you just did something that jumped you out of that reality into a whole other space. Now, if you start your day like this, you are completely aligning yourself to new reality tunnels. And you might not see it right away on the outside because the physical takes a little bit of time, but internally, you know you're making a shift. You know that you are up to something. And through a little bit of consistency and moving through some of that resistance that doesn't want to do these new things because it's biologically gotten familiar to an old way of being. So it's like chemically, it's like a drug. You're chemically addicted to perhaps struggle, stress, worry, what's going to happen. Oh my God, little me, victimhood. How am I going to pay my rent? My boss is being mean to me at work. My relationships are falling apart. Whatever that incoherence is. You're aligning to that. That's the reality tunnel that you're visiting every day. But when you break the pattern and you prioritize your state of being, you literally shift on a quantum level to that timeline that is a way higher sense of fulfillment, enjoyment, empowerment. You're now existing, you're putting yourself on track for a reality where you realize that you are the creator of your experience. You are saying yes to that. You are saying no by doing this. It's an act of rebellion to the system, to the matrix, to a culture that would have you be a consuming automaton for the rest of your life, just going through the motions, listening to other people. This is what it is. Just, you know, get to retirement and then maybe enjoy things. Life's going to suck for the most part. Just suck it up and deal with it. That's what we're getting rid of. That's the timeline we're shifting out of. So the only way you're going to do this, folks, is you have to accept and you have to allow that you are a quantum multidimensional being that has an infinite sea of reality all around you all the time. And your state of being, your emotional structure is aligning you with a timeline that has certain experiences involved in it, that has opportunities, that has people, that has circumstances that are aligned to that state. So if you want to become the creator, you have to really get this. You have to prioritize this and you have to say, okay, I'm going to do whatever this takes. I can no longer hold this as a nice little concept to put on the bookshelf and use one day. No, your time is here and your choices are everything, my friends. Stop allowing your precious time on this planet to be sucked away by distractions, to be sucked away by low vibrational things that you don't care about. Stop allowing and settling for bullshit. You did not come here for that. We are here to thrive. We're here to know ourselves at the deepest level, to unfold our greatest potential that we were created to be. This is not a time for settling. And if you're still watching this, I know that you're feeling me. I know that you have this in you. You wouldn't be here otherwise. Maybe you'll be here, but you're ready to receive this. Maybe like me, you've been walking down this path for a long time, but you haven't really gone very far, right? You get the dopamine hit of this like beautiful information, but you don't do anything with it. And then I'll just be super vulnerable here. I there was I got an astrology reading 8 years ago telling me to do the things that I'm now just doing in the last year and a half. Like, I mean, really stepping into. And I've had to watch so many people leapfrog ahead of me, so many people uh, receive the reality that I'd been wanting for the last 7, 8 years because they had the willingness to dive into the things that I wasn't. And I had all these concepts, and I'm like, oh, I'm so smart and so intelligent, but I wasn't doing shit and I wasn't getting the results because I wasn't willing to make this the number one priority above everything else. All the distractions, all of the things. I got used to struggle. I got used to settling with a very low bar. Like, oh, I can take this. I can handle this. I can be cool with living out of my car. I can be cool with barely getting by and barely paying my bills and barely, having enough clients. I was okay with that. And now I'm in a place where it's like, no, bro, that's not okay at all. That's not why I'm here. That's not the way I want to feel. And that's not my reality. That's not mine. That's a fear-based part of me that has been choosing that I've allowed to have power over me, which is the ego, right? That would have you stay in the same place the rest of your life. Comfortable, things are convenient. You don't have to look at things for what they are. You don't have to tell yourself the truth. You don't have to let things be destroyed. You don't have to let your house of cards fall down where all of a sudden, it's very uncomfortable and raw and vulnerable. Like to avoid that, your ego would keep you comfortable the rest of your life, even if it's because you in a fearful place, in a place of lack, the things that you're familiar with, that you're chemically addicted to, it would happily have you there the rest of this existence. So you got to fully choose this here, right? And it took a while for me to land, and a lot of pain and dissatisfaction had to drive me to a point to fully choose this and start to say yes to this. And I know a lot of you can feel that. I know a lot of you have been in that place. I get it. I've been in those shadows. They're very dark, very heavy, and really they're simply mechanisms to get you back to the light, to get you to this place that I'm speaking to you from now, because it's available right here, right now. You are ready to receive it. At any point, you can change the directory. You can jump onto that timeline, but you've got to keep yourself there. Stay in the upper room. Don't let yourself fluctuate back and forth, which is why you have to prioritize and take a very powerful audit of where your energy is going. Now, on the other side of this conversation is we have to talk about this, the opportunity cost, right? Now, by me, let's say I, at nighttime, this could be anything. I'm just using examples here. At nighttime, instead of the healthy meal, you choose fast food, processed food. You eat a bunch of sugar. You eat the comfort food. It feels nice. Gives you that, again, little dopamine hit. It appeases that part of your ego. But now you're like, oh, right? You're sinking. You're like, you have no energy because all of your energy is being used for digestion. And now you're just like, you're kind of feeling lethargic and you're like, oh, I guess I'll just go watch some TV and veg out, which, by the way, is okay to do sometimes, right? But for a lot of people, this is a daily habit. I want you to think about this. Making that choice to have that meal that which then led to the feeling of being lethargic, which then led to you vegging out and watching a television show all the way up to the point where maybe you fall asleep. What you could have been doing was you had the healthy meal, you made the choice to do that because you now eat more from a place of what energizes me, what works for me, what's optimal for me. And then after you had that nutritious meal, you're feeling good. Maybe you go for a walk, you do that exercise that I told you about before, and you write down the world that you're creating, the world that you're stepping into. You keep yourself at that higher vibrational state. You meditate, you give thanks for the day, you write down where you went out of alignment, you write down what worked for you, what you're celebrating from that day, what you learned, something that was maybe an experience of magic or synchronicity, which I love to do because the more that you do it, the more the universe will deliver those things. Because it's like, ooh, he's paying attention, she's paying attention. Let me keep dazzling him with these things because they're paying attention and writing it down. Promise you, if you do that extras, you will get more of those things to write down. Now you follow this into the next day. Now you're waking up from this place. You're continuing the string. You're crystallizing yourself more into that highest timeline where it's the you that prioritized feeling good. It's the you that said, "Hey, I'm ready to live my optimal full potential life here." Right? And then that day, because you were in a high state, you continue that process instead of having that shitty meal. Now you're in this place of your heart's opened. You walk out into the world feeling good. You're present and you bring that into your day. All of a sudden, you have an interaction with someone from that place that you're in, and that takes you somewhere. All of a sudden, this opportunity flows in that wasn't available from that other timeline. And you're seeing the beauty around you. You're recognizing that holy shit, my choices matter so much. My state of being matters so much. And then it starts to hit you. And then even your logic comes on board and it's like, oh, yeah, it doesn't make sense to make these choices that lower my energy that are costing me getting to experience this beautiful reality that feels amazing, or a reality that I'm choosing my highest self, my highest timeline, instead of fear, instead of complacency and familiarity. Ooh, that feels good. Ooh, I want to keep this going. Let's ride that wave. Let's get on that wave. Now you're starting to see the utility of these things, right? You're starting to get a sense of this is how it works. Holy shit. I get it now. All right. And the cascade of that one poor choice to have that meal changed everything. You jumped timelines back to the lower vibrational one, back to I'm not the creator of my experience. I'm a victim. I'm going to forego all of these incredible potentials. So by doing this, you're going to start to see the cost of your actions because I can show up on this video in a certain state of being and the quality of that's going to be a certain way. But if I just take a little bit of time, maybe I go for a walk, I clear my energy, I have a very clear intention of what I'm going to say, and I know what I want to bring to it, and I have that intention there, that is going to be a far different video and different experience than any other one that I've done. The same applies to all the areas of our life. You are always building and energizing reality tunnels that are calling in the experiences that you are going to have in the future. You have got to know this. You are not this linear being that's just shuffling around. Everything seems the same. It's like Groundhog Day. There's no greater hell to me than fucking Groundhog Day, where it's like, holy shit, it's the same stuff over and over. It's purgatory. It's it's such a really dark place to be in. But again, that purgatory is serving its purpose to get you to a level of pain and discomfort where you can't choose it anymore and you're forced to do something different. To rip yourself out of that because you're like, I'm creating this. I'm creating my own fucking purgatory. And I love myself and I want to have fun and enjoy this life. So I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to make new choices so I can get a new reality. There's no other way. There is no other way. So every choice has a big ripple in the pond of your consciousness. And I want you to really let this land. These are not small choices anymore. The small things are the big things, but we overlook them. Our brain tries to make things so complex that we overlook the simple things like eating nutritious food, exercising, living our day with intention, deciding how we want to feel, programming our software, our hardware before we go and start our day, rather than just wake up, look at your phone, get all the notifications, and just jump into the craziness of the matrix. That's not using your spiritual wisdom. That's not uh yeah, it's not wise. Let's start using wisdom, my friends. We all have it. You all have it. If you're still here, especially, you got a lot of wisdom. Start using it. Okay. Recognize the opportunity cost. Not only the knowingness that you are a quantum being and all the infinite reality tunnels exist around you. There is a reality tunnel where you are so successful, you are able to take your family and loved ones on amazing trips and give them experiences and be able to show them how you did this. There is reality tunnels where you have the love of your life, the partner that is fully aligned with you, that is like it just gets better and better every day. Of course, there's challenges, but it's like the most beautiful thing you could have ever wished for, right? There's a reality tunnel where you don't choose from fear anymore and you're having the adventures of your life. You're meeting the most cool, epic people that are up to awesome stuff in the world, and you're engaging with them, you're creating projects with them. You're bringing in money, doing in things that you love. You've shed the 9 to 5 programming. You're fucking free. That reality tunnel exists and it's actually very close to you. How many people listening to this now have had experiences where it's almost like you run into another reality tunnel, another version of you, and it's like it could be a fleeting moment, it could be in a dream, it could be a deja vu thing where you're like, I've had this before, I've tasted this high life before. It's like a knowingness. You're like, I know that's here, and it's like sometimes you run into it for a few minutes, sometimes you into it for just a quick second, but it's like, ooh, oh yeah, okay, I had that experience. That's a possibility for me. So we're going to end it here. I wanted to deliver this with some fire, with some love and passion, because this is this is the earth that's coming in. This is the humanity that is waking up and blossoming. It takes each of us on an individual level to build our light, to make it brighter so that it will shine for the people around us, to the point where they come to you and they say, how are you doing this? Where they put down their judgments, they put down their small realities that they've been addicted to and their pain bodies that they share with other people. And they say, all right, I'm done too. I want to align with this person that's doing this and the results that they're creating. This is a possibility and it's here for you right now. This is why it's coming through this way to share with you. It's here. You're ready. Say yes. Say yes. And if you want some help in support of that, this is the crux of my one on one work. This is what we dive into. This is what we get clear on. And this is what we maintain. There's accountability, there's creativity, there's healing, all the shadowy aspects that would keep you from doing this. And it's stepping forward into becoming the creator. Within 3 months, you will feel like you are the creator of your experience. It's going to make you uncomfortable. It's going to call you forward, but it's going to be the greatest transformation you've ever had. And it's you. And I'm just helping you remember and realign to what has always been you. If that calls to you, hit the link in the description, sign up for a discovery call. Let's see what makes sense. And I just want you to know there is some wonderful things that are being channeled through me right now from God, from Source, because I'm saying yes to this, that are going to support a lot of you on this path of following your path. That is, I desire to be in a world where most people are doing that, where you can have amazing conversations just in passing on the street. Surface level is gone. It's like, hey, here's what I'm excited about. Like, I can see it on their face, I can feel it in their aura. It's like we're all in this thing together and it's exciting. And we get to talk about what we're excited about and what we're passionate about, what we're creating instead of just getting by. Instead of just the struggle, we're thriving. Okay. I love you guys. Thank you for giving me your time and attention. And I will see you again very soon. Much love. As always, peace within is peace without.